What is up, YouTube? I'm back with another show and tell and kind of a review on another pistol that I bought. As you've seen in the headline, I'm just going to get right to it. I have a Gen 5 Glock 30 in 45 ACP. I did the double undercut and I added some TrueGlow sights, which is a little hard to find sights for the G30. I was having a hard time. I'm sure some of you on here may be able to find some right away, but these are the TrueGlows. I actually just installed them. They came in this afternoon in the mail. So it has a fiber optic front, blacked out serrated rear. Weapon is clear. I do have a fully loaded mag, but I'm not going to stipple this because the grip is so much thicker than a Glock 19 that I normally carry. The only thing that I stippled, it came with 3 mags, was the front of the pinky section of the mag. So when it is fully seated, I have that little bit of extra real estate grip there. When it was smooth, I could feel my pinky sliding all over the place. So I've been doing a lot of testing with 9mm ammo. I do carry a Glock 19. Back in the day, I used to carry a Glock 26 on my ankle with a full-size 1911 IWB and 45 ACP. And now I know we want the max capacity rounds in the smallest package possible. It makes sense, but I have been doing a lot of testing with 9mm ammo where it's just not, for me psychologically, it's not enough. Yeah, I have Glock 19s with extended mags or extended base pads where I'm holding 19 rounds plus 1 in a chamber, so 20 rounds, or depending on how well and more concealed I want to be, I'll just run a straight 15 round mag. Or my Canic that has a 17 plus 1. Ooh, UPS just pulled up. My new boots are here. I'm a big cowboy boot collector. I'm planning on doing some videos on that, but Lucchese's is what I mainly wear, but the ones that I have coming in now are some Rujos. Anyway, back to the gun. I'm doing this video here and this UPS guy's walking up. Wonder if he's gonna see the gun in my hand and kind of freak out. But anyway, I'm not sure if I mentioned I got TrueGlow sights on here. They just came in this afternoon. Took like a minute to install them. They're very easy. So it's a fiber optic front, blacked out serrated rear, and front and rear are both CNC machined metal, so nothing is plastic on here. So sorry, I'm kind of all over the board here. Let's go back to the 9mm kind of testing. There were some tests that I had conducted, probably not appropriate on YouTube, but there were some things that I had shot where I was amazed it continued to live on for a little while longer. It was good shot placement. No, it's not humans. So anyway, shooting a 45 ACP and carrying one for years, psychologically, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. It makes me feel better. So I decided to go with the Gen 5 Glock 30. But the other reason I went with this is because Glock is discontinuing several models, like this one, the 29, I think like the 40 cals, the 357 SIG. But anyway, I got onto the site of one of my local gun shops that I buy guns from. They have a website tied to their gun shop, so if they don't have it in store, they can usually get it within 2 days. But anyway, he had this on the shelf, and I seen it on their website, and it was $400. And I was like, so I texted him, and I was like, dude, is that Glock 30 used on your shelf? He's like, no, it's brand new. They're being discontinued. So anyway, I bought that immediately on his site, and then the next day I went and picked it up. But they come with 3 10-round mags. So you have a 10 plus 1, so a little bit more than a 1911. This feels really good in my hand. I don't really feel that ugly grip Glock angle. Now, it's definitely not a 1911 angle. Um, so I was able to go out and shoot this over the 4th of July weekend. I believe I ran 250 rounds, 200 of them being Winchester white box. 50 rounds were a buddy's reload. And I had one kind of, I don't know if I would call it a malfunction. So it was during a reload. It was at the very end of the shooting of this pistol. It was on the very last round. It had it was sluggish going back into battery, but it was kind of delayed. I didn't have to bump it or anything or tap it. It just took a second. But I guess his head spacing, he said he may not have been accurate when he was reloading these. And they were jamming like every other round, these reloads in his 1911. So I'm pretty confident that, just like every Glock I've owned and shot and have seen shot is very reliable. Oh, I do this to all my Glocks. So if you've seen any of my other videos with maybe Glock clones or Glocks in general, I do run the Vickers Down tactical flat trigger. I don't know why, it's just super comfortable to me. I don't put any ghost connectors. I don't polish anything. I just change out the trigger shoe and I'm good to go. I recently started doing my own undercuts on polymer guns. I think it turned out great. It's comfortable for me. It's what I like. I did a video a few months back on a Glock 17 that I grip chopped down to a 19 because I have like a billion 19 mags. So on eBay, I did order a cheap holster for this. It is nothing fancy. It's something to get me by until my Mitch Rosen leather holster comes in that I ordered a few days ago, which I'll do a review on. But nothing fancy, nothing special. It's just 2 pieces of Kydex molded together and 1.5-inch belt loops. Now, what I had to do is I had to get my Dremel out, and there was kind of not enough room for me to get my fingers in there to grab that. It was a little bit high. I don't know, took a couple minutes, then I got some sandpaper and rounded everything off and smoothed it out. But I do want to talk about calibers, what people think they should carry, and versus what everybody's telling. I'm not going to tell anybody what to carry. I think that's a personal preference. Mine is going to be the 45. I will still carry a 9mm. I understand 45 is really expensive to shoot. That ammo just doesn't seem to want to come down in price. Sometimes you get lucky and there might be an online sale price, or I recommend people that are looking for ammos going to pawn shops that sell firearms. Sometimes you can find some really good deals on ammo in there. Now, I'm talking just like range ammo. I would still buy your self-defense ammo at a reputable storefront, whether it be a gun shop or academy. I'm not sure if everyone has academy that watches this, or Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, stuff of that nature. Your local gun shop that carries self-defense ammo that is of good quality. But man, I'm really digging this because I do have really big hands. I do have a Glock 21 Gen 5 that I had super tricked out, and I should have brought it out of the safe for this video, but I will pack this. This is definitely in my carry rotation for the rest of this year and probably into next year. But I can't believe how cheap these are. If you're looking to add a 45 or a Glock or just another pistol to your collection, I highly recommend looking at your shop, your local shop or shops, if they don't have one, if they can order one. I think I paid $449 out the doors, like $449.91, I think. I think it was $409 before tax or something, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, man, I don't think that thing is brand new. And then, like I said, I text the owner. And he was like, no, they're brand new. But the other reason I want to get another one is because I want to cut out a red dot. Probably not going to do any fancy milling on the slide. Just want to do a red dot cut and kind of play around with that and see how that works out. Because the Glock 21 Gen 5 that I have, I don't know why it feels so much bigger in my hands. Now I have 2XL, almost 3XL size hands. As you can see, I can pretty much almost conceal this whole Glock 30 in my hand. So, but I don't know if it's the shorter grip. I don't know, but the Glock 21 feels like the Gen 3 Glock 21 in my hand, like this huge 2x4, but it's realistically the same grip as this 30. Could be psychological, like I said about 9mm versus 45, and I don't want to go down that road because I know we're probably going to get drug in the comments, or people are going to be like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. You carry what you're comfortable with, and I'll do the same. But man, before these are gone and you're looking to add another pistol, 45 Glock to your collection, definitely looking to get in one of these. I haven't seen Glock prices this cheap since probably 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, like when the Gen 4s first came out. I want to say I remember them being like $419 or $429, and back then I remember that I thought that was really expensive because yeah, I didn't make as much money as I do now. But where are we at? We're just shy of 12 minutes. I really don't know what else to tell you. Man, it's okay. I told you I shot it over the 4th of July weekend. This thing has less recoil than my Glock 19. Swear to God. It was so insane. I have no idea. I don't know if it's because I get a better purchase on the pistol because the grip is thicker than a 19. The dual recoil spring, it's the same as in every other Gen 5 and Gen 4 Glock. It surprised me. So recoil was super tame. Since I did bring up a 1911, I do want to say this. A 1911, there was a video I seen. I kind of watched some of it. It was on here on YouTube. I forget what the title was, but 1911s are not meant for everybody. 1911s are not meant for newbies. 1911s are not meant for rookies. At first, I disagreed with that. But after really thinking about and put some thought into it, it's really not. A 1911, you really need a lot of time behind that 1911. Now, if you're carrying it, this is where I'm going. If it's just a range toy and it looks pretty, do your thing. I was there. But I have several hours, several thousand rounds behind all kinds of different 1911s. What I recommend for the 1911 folks that are up and coming, now I'm by no means an expert, but I do have enough time behind a 1911. I understand I'm holding a Glock, but to really get to know that gun, what kind of oil it likes, how dirty it can get before it starts malfunctioning, what kind of ammunition it likes, what grain feeds or shoots best in that 1911. There's so many different metrics that go behind a 1911. And it's not only the gun, it's going to be also the shooter. So if you're a 45 ACP guy and you like shooting 180 grain, make sure that 180 grain is going to cycle 100% in that 1911. There's so many variables that come into a 1911. So I'm very adamant at 500 rounds. I don't care if it's a Wilson, Nighthawk, Guncrafter, Springfield, Ruger. I change out all of my springs at 500 rounds. I know that might be a little premature to some of you 1911 fans out there, but for me, it's more peace of mind. Springs are cheap, so I don't really worry about it. And if they are in my carry rotation, I don't care if I shot one round, if I shot one mag, or I did a whole day of shooting and put 500 rounds through it. that entire 1911 is getting broke all the way down, scrubbed, cleaned, lubed, and put back together if it's in my carry rotation. And I run my 1911 super, super wet. And I kind of do my Glocks also. And I know they're not needed. Again, it's personal preference. It's where I'm from. It's how I was trained, and the types of environments that I'm in that might require more lubrication or more types of grease. Currently, I reside in the state of Oklahoma, where I've been here almost 7 years now, 1 month away from 7 years. So it is very hot and extremely humid out here. So I constantly lubricate my firearms that I carry, because if I'm carrying IWB, which I really don't anymore, I find that as I'm getting older, IWB is not as comfortable. So a lot of my carry is outside the waistband. All that sweat perspirates onto the firearm. You're going to start getting rust spots in the channels of your sights. Then it's going to start seeping into the internals of the pistol. I'm sure a lot of you that are watching this can relate to that and have seen it before. Don't get scared. It's perfectly normal. Normal as in that's what happens. So please take care of your guns, especially your carry guns that you are relying on, that may or may not save yourself or people around you, loved ones, or people in a crowded area, especially with everything that's going on today in today's society, not only in our country, but basically all around the world. Even like when I went shooting, I shot 3 of my 1911s, 3 of my ARs, that might have been it. I was going crazy because when I got home, I did not clean my guns. That's how adamant I am about cleaning, scrubbing, lubing, and reassembling everything back together. But I know this was kind of a multiple sidebar type rant, but I did really want to show this off. And this thing is fucking awesome. I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I like the little details I was able to do to it. The sights were like $56 off eBay. This was free because I did it myself. And the stippling, the trigger, I think was $42 off eBay. And I've yet to have one of these fail. And it's a very well-known company, Larry Vickers Tactical. So it's the Vickers down trigger. Get out there and train. Have fun. Be safe. But 45, if you can afford it and you really want to carry a 45, shop around. Like I said, go to your local pawn shops that sell guns. A lot of mine around here, they actually sell ammo, and I found some amazing deals on 45 ammo, like $15 a box. Like if I bought their whole case out, he had like 10 boxes, and he had them priced at 25, and I'm like, how much for all of them? Like, they'll barter with you because they're in the business to make money, right? So be smart. Those kind of places you can barter with. You can't go to a chain business and be like, hey, how about this? No, their price is their price. So anyway, I go to Vegas. So it's July 8th. I go to Vegas August 3rd for my 1-year wedding anniversary. When I get back, I'm buying another one of these, and I'm going to give y'all a hint. I'm going to put in a comment if you can figure out the gun and what movie this is from, but I'm going to give you a hint. Yo, homie, is that my briefcase? If you know that movie and the gun I'm going to get, drop it in a comment. But other than that, I'm going to keep this below 20 minutes. Crazy how fast time flies when you're rambling on. But, man, check that out. Get you a Glock 30. Even if you can't afford to shoot it every time, or maybe once a year, get one. They're going to become relics. They're not supposedly making them anymore. But if you have any questions, I always do my best to get back to you. And I hope everybody's doing good and have a fun and safe summer, and stay safe out there shooting if you guys shoot at all. So take care.